Hey everyone, I am super excited today to be launching my new junior novel, There's No Such Thing as Humans. Now I'll tell you a little bit more about the book in a minute, but I thought first I might read you the first chapter. So here is the first chapter of There's No Such Thing as Humans. Chapter 1. Mum, help! There's a human under my bed. Grub jumped up onto his pillow, tucking his feet underneath him. Don't be silly, Grub. There's no such thing as humans. Mum came into the room with an armload of washing. Grub covered his eyes. But Puddles said there was one. Mum smiled. Your brother is full of stories. Come on, look for yourself. She pulled the cover back from the bed and peered underneath it. Grub peeked over the side. He kept his tail curled around the headboard so he could pull himself up quickly if anything jumped out at him. He looked under the bed. There was a dirty sock, some screwed up pieces of paper, and an old mug, but no humans. See? Mum ruffled the spiky bits of hair on the top of Grub's head. Now come on, let's go get some lunch. Grub and his mother went out into the kitchen. Puddles was waiting for them. He grinned at Grub. Did the human get you? Stop telling tales, Puddles, said Mum. You're such a baby, Grub, said Puddles. I'm not scared of humans. You are too. No way, said Puddles. If I saw a human, I'd go right up to them and there's no such thing as humans. Mum slammed her claws down on the bench. Grub and Puddles looked up at her. Mum never got angry, especially not over something this silly. She flicked her claws out of the bench, sending bits of wood flying. Jingles from school said that humans live at the edge of the forest, Grub said quietly. There's no such thing as humans, and stay away from the edge of the forest. Mum shook her head and patted Grub's shoulder. I promise you boys, there's nothing at the edge of the forest but a few wild cats. Now come on, eat your lunch before it gets cold. Grub picked up his bowl and walked into the dining room. Puddles came up behind him. Dare you to go to the edge of the forest? Grub shook his head. Mum would kill us. Double dare you. Grub stopped and looked at Puddles. There was no way he could back down from a double dare. So there you go, that's the first chapter of There's No Such Thing as Humans. And we have in that chapter a beautiful illustration from Ian and, I think you can see that there, Ian and Alana Garman's Way. So they've done the cover and they've done all the way through the book. There's beautiful illustrations from them. So I am so happy to finally be launching this story. This is one I wrote a long time ago as an example for some of my students, an example of a first chapter. And then I kind of liked the story, so I kept going with it. And I'm so proud to be launching it out into the world today. If you're in New Zealand, there will be an in-person launch at some point. The book is with the wonderful people at yourbooks.co.nz. And they will be printing it. And the book has been edited by the wonderful Sue Copsey as well. So a lot of people have come together for this one, which is really cool, people giving their time and attention to this. And I can't wait for you all to read it. So yay, book launching today. It's very exciting for me. And you might have noticed that the camera is shaking quite a bit. That's because there is nothing in the world like me trying to film a video that makes my dog want to sit on my lap. And she, if you've met her, is not a lap dog. So she, right now, I'll put a photo in the comments, has got her head right underneath the tripod. So that's why this video is a little bit shaky, but I feel like it adds something to it. We're talking about little monsters. She's my little monster. So thank you for joining me today to launch There's No Such Thing as Humans, and huge thank you to yourbooks.co.nz, Ian and Alana Garman's Way for illustrating, and Sue Copsey for editing. You're all awesome. I love you. Yay!